newly increased suspected cases, the number is 4, including 3 overseas imported in Shanghai and 1 indigenous suspect case in Beijing. For newly increased cured and discharged cases, the number is 76. Close contacts removed from medical observation 521, and the number of severe cases dropped by 18. For overseas imported, the remaining confirmed cases numbers 898, including 46 severe cases. For remaining suspected cases, the number is 61. In total, the number of confirmed cases is 1,534. The number of cured and discharged cases is 636, and there's no fatal case. By the end of yesterday, China's mainland reported that now there are still 1,107 confirmed cases, including 95 severe cases. In accumulative terms, the number of cases cured and discharged from hospitals is 77,892. The total death tally is 3,342. The total confirmed cases numbered 82,341, and the remaining suspected cases is 63. For close contacts traced, the total number is 722,007. Close contacts still under medical observation is 8,484. For Hubei, yesterday there's no new increase, confirmed case, nor suspect case, nor remaining suspect case, nor fatal case. Now, for cured and discharged cases, the number is 33, all in Wuhan, and the remaining confirmed cases 146, all in Wuhan. The number of severe cases is 38, all in Wuhan. In total, the number of cases discharged from hospitals is 64,435, including 47,283 in Wuhan. In total, the death tally totaled 3,222, including 2,579 in Wuhan. In total, the number of cases confirmed is 67,803, including 50,008 in Wuhan. China's mainland reported that for newly increased asymptomatic infection, the number is 64, including 3 overseas imported. The number of asymptomatic infection transferred to confirmed cases is 6, including 2 overseas imported. For cases removed from medical observation yesterday, the number is 49, including 12 overseas imported, and asymptomatic infection still under medical observation is 1,032, including 217 overseas imported. In total, from Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan, the number of confirmed cases reaches 1,456, including 1,016 from Hong Kong SAR. From Macau SAR, the number is 45, and from the Taiwan region, the number is 395. Yesterday, the remaining indigenous severe case number dropped to less than 50, and the confirmed case number is 12. All of them are related cases with overseas imported, and most of them are cluster cases. So we need to strengthen the monitoring and ensure the closed-loop management to avoid the potential resurgence of the cases. Now we will have the Q&A. Please focus on today's topic and put forward your questions. Please first identify yourself. Now, and from the Taiwan region, the number is 395. Yesterday, the remaining indigenous severe case number dropped to less than 50, and the confirmed case number is 12. All of them are related cases with overseas imported, and most of them are cluster cases. So we need to strengthen the monitoring and ensure the closed-loop management to avoid the potential resurgence of the cases. Now we will have the Q&A. Please focus on today's topic and put forward your questions. Please first identify yourself. Now the floor is open. First question, on the right, on the front row, the third lady reporter, please. Thank you. With CCTV, President Xi Jinping proposes to address the bottlenecks and the remaining outstanding problems in work recovery. In terms of the manufacturing sector, what are the challenges and what measures have the Ministry of Information and Industry adopted to address these problems? We will have DG Xu to take your question. Thank you for your question. Following the Central Committees of CPC and the State Council's arrangement, the related agencies have worked out policy measures to recover the operation. By April the 14th, we can see that the work resumption rate has reached 99% and people in their positions reached over 94%. For the manufacturing sector, we find some new situation or new issues. The inadequate domestic and international demand and also the financial constraint have caused the problems for the manufacturing sector or for the producers who are already recovered their production. So we have followed the guiding principle of bringing the enterprises into synergy to produce products together. So we want to revive the production and push forward the demand in sectors like automobile and textile. We also wish to cultivate new business modes and encourage consumption. We are also accelerating the development of infrastructure such as 5G, and we have accelerated the kickoff of the information projects. Also, we have facilitated the supply chain and also dynamically adjust the measures to help the companies address their bottlenecks and challenges faced in recovering the production. Also, we wish to realize the coordinated growth of all the enterprises, being large or small. Thirdly, the Ministry of Industry and Informatization is a major coordinator of the sectors. So we have made every effort to encourage sectors like the textile, the automobile, and the spare parts production to come up with supporting policies. Fourthly, we are maintaining the stability in the international industrial chain and accelerate the production of the anti-epidemic materials and supplies, and also promote the export of such products. Okay, let's continue. On the right, on the first row, the first gentleman, please. Thank you. With CNR, up to now, how about the work recovery of the private sector and the SMEs, and what are the measures adopted by the MIIT? We will have DG Qin to take the question. Thank you.
In China, private business and SMEs are two definitions. However, they overlap each other and sometimes they refer to the same set of businesses. Private business is defined in accordance with the nature of the ownership. SMEs is defined in relation with the scale. However, among the SMEs, the majority of them are private business. According to our data monitoring on the big data platform as of yesterday, April the 15th, the resumption rate of the SMEs across the country reached 84%. The resumption of SME operation has the following features. First, the resumption rate of the second industry is higher than that of the manufacturing businesses, which is higher than the recreational, hospitality, sports, and cultural-related businesses, which have been majorly dented by the epidemic. Then if we look at the region division, many regions have seen parallel development in the resumption. 25 provinces have seen a resumption rate of over 80%. Hubei province has seen a rapid increase of the business resumption rate as well. Third, if we look at the business nature, the resumption rate of the specialized, sophisticated, unique, and innovative SMEs have shown a higher resumption rate than ordinary and average SMEs. The micro businesses have shown the highest difficulty in business resumption. So these have been the features of a resumption of operation. Besides, with the rapid raging of the pandemic, there has been a decrease in market demand and a decrease in the market orders. This has been reflected and complained by many SMEs. From the perspective of MIIT, we would like to focus on the following aspects to facilitate the resumption. First, we need to refine and implement the good policies from the national government to ensure the good policies are owned by the businesses. And we should also summarize and roll out the best practices. Second, we need to promote the role played by the flagship companies and promote the synergy development among businesses in the upper, middle, and lower streams of the same supply chain. Third, we should use digital technologies to enable and empower the SMEs, guide SMEs to be specialized, to have sophisticated technologies, and to have unique features and to innovate so as to nurture new driving forces of development. And the last measure is to promote the strong support from the public service system. We know SMEs need governance and the services from multiple aspects. Therefore, a sound service system is important to enable their business resumption. This is where we should focus on. Thank you. Thank you. Next question, please. Journalist from the first row on the left side, please. Thank you. With China Industry and Commerce Times, Premier Li Keqiang has requested more support should be given to the SMEs impacted by the pandemic. Many SMEs are faced with tight cash flow. So what has been the measure adopted by All China Federation of Industry and Commerce to support SMEs? I'd like to ask DG Lin Zeyan to answer the question. Thank you for your question. We know the SMEs and micro businesses have difficult access to financing. Their financing cost has been high, in particular after the outbreak of COVID-19. Many businesses were suspended and faced more arduous, tight cash flow. The State Council and the Central Party Committee have adopted an array of measures to deal with the issue. All China Federation of Industry and Commerce has adopted the following measures. First, in terms of financial support, we have conducted in-depth survey to learn about the difficulties faced by the SMEs and micro businesses. Second, All China Federation of Industry and Commerce collaborated with Ant Finance, online banking, altogether 100 plus financial institutions, and promoted non-collateral non-guarantee-based faster tracks to financing. China Banking Association's latest statistics has shown that despite the policy has been in place for only 2 months, the micro businesses, SMEs, self-employed businesses, including the self-employed farming businesses, have got a lot of services, and they have got 3.2 billion RMB in the value of loan. We also collaborated with the Industrial Bank, Bank of China, and Bank of Transportation and Communication, and promoted some special loan services targeted at the SMEs. Bank of Communication has provided financing to 134 businesses, a total loan value of 6.1 billion RMB. Second, All China Federation of Industry and Commerce has promoted the innovative businesses among SMEs. Many local federations have been connecting the financial institutions with SMEs. It is worthy mentioning our collaboration with the online banks and the support plan for the SMEs. 3 minutes for application, 1 second for the granting of loans, and 0 artificial intervention or artificial management. So it is called 310 approach. Journalist from the second row on the left side, please. With the Phoenix TV, COVID-19 has posed many SMEs to a test of survival. My question goes to All China Federation of Industry and Commerce on the front of the policies supportive to the resumption of SMEs. What have been the situation? DG Lin Zeyan is taking the question. On the 1st of November 2018, back then President Xi Jinping has mentioned the special features of SMEs. They are the pillar of China's economy. Therefore, it's crucial for them to resume business. According to our statistics, the current resumption among SMEs is that the bigger scaled business have resumed the business 100%, and the smaller scales have basically resumed their businesses. The bigger companies and flagship companies have been playing a demo role and triggering other businesses to follow. However, there has been some structural differences among businesses in different industries. In the first half of April, we have published a survey report. 31.39% of the private business have resumed the business. 44% of the business have used more than 50% of their capacity, and 44% of the business have now operated at about 80% of the full capacity. In particular, among the tertiary industry, 90% of the business have resumed the business, 8.21 percentage points higher than that of the later part of last year. 57.8% of the businesses have used more than 80% of their production capacity. And the flagship SMEs have been playing a demo role in mobilizing upper stream and lower stream businesses. SMEs have seen a total resumption rate of 86%, a major increase compared with the later half of March.
According to our survey, despite the various structural differences among the private business in terms of the work resumption, Some businesses told me that actually yesterday afternoon I had a phone call with the business owner, one of the business owners in the private sector. The gentleman told me that despite the pandemic, they have already invested in R&D and provided the alternatives to international products. He told me that we are confident in the work resumption so long as we get the support from the government and the general public. Thank you. Let's continue. On the right, on the third row, the first lady reporter, please. Thank you. With Hong Kong Economic Herald, the local branches of the All China Federation of Industry and Commerce. In terms of work resumption, what are the efforts and activities launched by such local branches? We will have Madam Tu to take your question. Thank you. Thank you for your question and your support for our branches. As you have rightly pointed out, the local branches are playing important role. At the moment, we have 31 charters, and also we have about 50,000 member organizations. So, guided by the All China Federation of Industry and Commerce, all our members and branches have been actively engaged in work resumption. For example, on January the 31st, one of our subsidiaries or our members, the All China Federation for Pharmaceutical Companies, put out an advocacy. And also, we have another member who has helped its related businesses to continue the operation, which is for the sewage treatment in Wuhan. Also, the catering charter in Chongqing, they were mobilized to work together with Xiaogan, one of the prefectures in Hubei province. Also, we can find many sister activities or training activities between our members and the related businesses in the epicenter. By April the 9th, the member organizations have realized over 80% of the work resumption, and for our furniture member, they have adopted specific measures to encourage business. Also, in Wenzhou, Zhejiang province, the member organization has mobilized the local efforts and bring back the overseas Chinese. Also, we can find similar examples in other parts of the country. We are confident that by implementing the State Council's policies and the active role played by our member organizations, we will find the work recovery being accelerated. Okay, let's continue. On the right, on the second row, the third gentleman, please. Thank you. The inadequate industrial train delivery has become a bottleneck. What are the measures adopted by MIIT to address this problem? We will have DG Xu to take your question. Thank you for your question. President Xi Jinping has made many important occasions the instruction that the industrial train is a coordinated train. That's why we need to facilitate the smooth movement of products and materials throughout the whole industrial train. In my ministry, we have earnestly implemented President Xi's guidance, and we have identified the work recovery as one of the priorities. We have strengthened the communication and the coordination with the relevant sectors and businesses. The upstream and downstream of the industrial chain are well coordinated to realize the sound operation. We have intensified the investigation and in order to identify the bottlenecks and the problems faced by the companies in their work recovery. Also, we brought into play the leading companies. The 92 leading companies are now under our daily oversight and facilitation, and more than 420,000 businesses along the industrial chain are encouraged and facilitated for work recovery. Furthermore, we took the lead and set up a special program to facilitate work recovery. Such efforts are across the region and across the sector. We are helping the various businesses to overcome the bottlenecks in work recovery. Moreover, we have focused on the key sectors and key enterprises. The Internet Plus mechanism was utilized to facilitate the industrial transformation and achieve high quality and performance in the industrial chain. Okay, on the left, on the fourth row, the third lady reporter. Thank you. China Review News. We know that SMEs are gravely affected. So how about the situation with them? And what are the difficulties they are faced with? Going forward, what are the measures to be adopted by MIIT to help them? We will continue to have DG Xu to take your question. Thank you for your interest in the textile industry. The textile sector is an important well-being or livelihood sector, as it provides products and also exports. It is also a sector with fairly sound industrial chain. Faced with the pandemic, while earnestly practicing the pandemic control, the sector has made every effort to accelerate the work recovery. Right after the Spring Festival holiday break, the sector has taken every measure to facilitate the work recovery. For example, in Zhejiang, the online light and textile trading platform was back to operation, and such platform has facilitated the work recovery of the related sectors like dyeing and the textile production. We have conducted a survey among the 75,000 textile industries, and we find that the employee in place rate was over 87%. Now we can see that there are still some problems faced by the SMEs in the textile sector. One of the outstanding problems is the inadequate demand. We can see that in the first quarter, the year-on-year comparison showed that the demand was reduced by 30%, and also because of the pandemic, the international order has been dropped or cut. According to All China Federation of the Textile Industry, the 63.6% of the companies complained about such a cut in the international order.
The pressure of a decreased order may have knock-on effect over the supply chain. Employment of the textile industry is under pressure. The situation is grim. Influenced by the decrease of order and the cancellation of order, there has been the piling up of the inventory, in particular for the chemical side. They are faced with greater pressure. in particular pressure on the cash flow. Government departments have been taking this seriously. We've been implementing the supportive policies. Localities have been working out their individual bailing out policies. We have also been helping the businesses to shift to other businesses. For example, some have shifted the operation to the production of protective garments. A combination of measures have been adopted to expand the market. For example, Shandong province has adopted some measures to promote the selling of the yarns from Shandong, and also the smart warehousing, the smart online selling have been promoted. Online sales has increased by 10%. Information technology has also been leveraged to upgrade the industry. Research, manufacturing, and global promotion have been the focuses of such smart transformation. Helped businesses to improve their quality, upgrade their consumption audience, and expand the selling channels. Journalist from the second row on the left side, please. Thank you. With CCTV, the new media, I'm asking on behalf of the netizens. SMEs are faced with the difficulties in having effective orders, and what are the measures adopted to stabilize the market and create job opportunities? I'd like to ask DDG Qin Zhihui from MIIT to take the question. Thank you for your question. Indeed, it is a profound concern of the wider general public to help the SMEs to go through this rough patch. Government has adopted financial, physical, social insurance, and employment policies. If we look at the specific content of these supportive policies, they can be summarized to streamlining, increasing, decreasing, slowing down, and servicing. First, decreasing. We have decreased and streamlined the procedures and decreased the taxes and fees. VAT taxes have been cut on these SMEs. We've also increased the export tax rebate. We have interim measures to reduce the contribution by the employers in the social insurance fund. So the first word summarizing our approach is decrease. Second word to summarize our approach is increase, or in other words, the increase of loans granted to SMEs to deal with their cash flow tightness. We've cut the reserve rate. We've carried out the discount loans. We have in total provided 3.55 trillion RMB as low interest loans. So that has been the increase policy, increased low interest loans. And the next word is reduction, the reduction in cost, the reduction in manpower cost, logistic cost, financing cost, utility cost in the use of electricity and water. Besides, SMEs and journalists have this profound concern on the rental cost. Some local governments have adopted measures to reduce the rental cost, so as to help the SMEs to go through the difficulties. And the fourth word summarizing our approach is the postponing and delaying the repayment of certain loans. Government has put up specific policies for the SMEs which have interim difficulties of repaying loans. There can be some postpone the loan repayment. And 880 billion RMB loan has been postponed. Besides, we've also extended the carry-over timetable and deadline for the hospitality business and restaurant businesses. So if the businesses have difficulty in repaying their loan in a timely manner, they can postpone the repayment. And the fifth word that summarizes our approach is servicing. The optimization of services, we have coordinated different policies along the industry chain. Just now, DG Xu has given detailed introduction to such services, which are meant to promote the synergy along the supply chain upper stream and lower stream. We've also collaborated with the Ministry of Civil Affairs and adopted a policy circular to promote the volunteer services. We've noticed that community workers and volunteers have played a major role in the pandemic response. SMEs cover a big variety of the businesses. Therefore, we can mobilize the grassroots level community workers and volunteers to provide help when necessary. And the next area is the digital enablement. The leverage of e-commerce platform is used to help SMEs to reduce costs and expand markets. Recently, we will also collaborate with Ministry of Education and launch the 100-day online recruitment of graduates. We have been communicating with Ministry of Education for this initiative. We have a sound basis of collaboration, and this will be promising in introducing talents to businesses. I believe in shifting out of the predicament of the order difficulties and the market and financial difficulties. Here are the measures we've adopted. Next question, please. Southern Metropolitan News. We've noticed that some of the restaurants have increased their price. So what is the view by All China Federation of Industry and Commerce? DG Lin, I haven't heard you clearly. Which business are you referring to? Oh, the catering business. Thank you. Okay, now I know. Catering business. In particular, if you eat in restaurants, catering business need more customers to make their business prosperous. However, the resumption of restaurants and catering business in China, according to our survey, is only 50% in terms of the resumption rate. After the outbreak of COVID-19, there have been catering businesses after we have controlled the spread. Some of the catering businesses have resumed the business. During the period when the customers could not eat in the restaurants, such businesses have shifted and changed their business models by promoting orders online. There are also some third-party catering platform which has been in close collaboration with the catering business. And these platforms has reduced the commissions charged on the catering businesses. Financial services have also been provided to the catering business.
As far as I know, nationwide, the top 10 catering businesses or the best top 10 performing cities in the catering sector are cities like Xiamen, and that is because the government is very supportive, and the businesses themselves have taken various online and offline initiatives to recover their business. So that's the roughly the overall situation. In the catering sector, recently we received letters and requests from the businesses asking us to help to reduce the estate rent or to control the price rise. So we are coordinating the efforts, and also we have worked out the advocacies. We call on the relevant agencies and the businesses to fight against the malpractices and encourage the good performing ones to provide satisfying services to the customers in order to promote the recovery of the catering sector. I think the key is to create a satisfying and reassuring environment so that everyone can become a satisfied customer. Okay, on the right, on the fifth row, the lady reporter, please. Thank you. With China News Service, just now, it was mentioned the important role of SMEs. So, my question is, what are the roles played by the Ministry of Industry and Information, in particular, to serve the SMEs and facilitate their work recovery? We will have DG Qin to take the question. Thank you for your question. Just as I have mentioned, the service system for the SMEs is an important platform as it provides services and assistance to the SMEs. During the epidemic, this system has played an important role. Overall, it has provided the various solutions to the bottlenecks. At the national and provincial levels, there are SME servicing platforms, and also during the 12th five-year development plan program, we've already set up a network to serve the SMEs. This network has over 100,000 member agencies or units. Take Fujian as an example. The province provided the specific financial products, the one-stop legal consultation and the services to SMEs to facilitate their operation. And so this is the first role they have played. And the second is to address the problems. We are helping the overall or the whole industrial chain to recover the operation and production. Throughout the country, you can find the demonstration sites for SMEs and also the special vehicles to facilitate the growth of SMEs. The central government has provided earmarked funding for these vehicles or the demonstration sites. They are playing the leading role to facilitate the industrial chain to get access to the raw materials and to smooth the delivery. Take Zhejiang as an example. The province set up a one-on-one matching platform, and it was found that 89.3% of the match has been accomplished by this particular platform. Also, we have provided digital and smart solutions to enable the SMEs to recover their operation and their business. Problems in the recovery process are well addressed. In Hunan province, for example, the SMEs are provided with the on-cloud information matching because due to the pandemic, the SMEs cannot meet face-to-face, but they can use such cloud platform to get in contact with each other. 18,000 SMEs in the province have accessed this cloud platform and found their business partners. For the next step, in order to better play the role of the servicing platform, we are to improve the efficiency and performance of the service system. Specifically, the content of the services should be well targeted. This is to promote the SME alliance and to identify their partners. And the second is to diversify the services. The servicing agencies are expected to innovate their working approaches and provide both online and offline service packages and the toolkits for SMEs. And the third is to standardize the services. Now we have a lot of such servicing companies and their performance varies. Therefore, it is necessary to promote the quality of such services. So these are the three specific directions to improve services for SMEs. Okay, let's continue. On the right, on the fourth row, the third reporter. Thank you. With Wenhui Bao. During the pandemic, the government has worked out many SME favorable policies. However, in implementing these policies, there are difficulties. So how to address these last mile or last kilometer problems? We will have DG Lin to take your question. Thank you for your question. Yes, indeed, policy implementation has become a hot topic. To accomplish the last mile is actually about the sense of gains for the businesses. In order to increase the sense of gains for the enterprises, the All China Federation of Industry and Commerce have focused on three efforts. These three efforts are as follows. First, we try to improve the awareness of such policies. Our federation has utilized the online website as well as the Chamber of Commerce and our sub-charters and various agencies to consolidate and clarify or summarize the relevant supporting policies. For example, we found that more than 40 policies recently released about the SME support. They cover various categories such as human resources and material access. So we are consolidating these policy measures to keep the SMEs aware of these favorable policies. Second, we have mobilized the relevant resources to coordinate the policy implementation. Specifically, let me give you an example. In Hunan, the three levels of the industry and the commerce agencies are mobilized to pay visits to the member companies.
The leaders of the Shanghai Federation have visited at least 30 businesses on a monthly basis. They visited these businesses, they let the business know the policies. Third, the implementation of policies is not only dependent on the knowing of the policies by the business. More importantly, in the implementation of the policies, we should know what are the problems, how can we provide feedback and further optimize the policies. So the Federation is learning the difficulties in the implementation and the difficulties and the pinpoints faced by the businesses, make suggestions later, and promote the improvement of the policies. With these solid efforts, we help the businesses to ensure there are raw materials in the warehouse, there are people working in the factories, there are orders awaiting them, and products have channels to sell, so that the resumption of the business can yield good results. They can stabilize the production and have good achievements out of it. Thank you. Journalist from the third row on the left side. Thank you. With the Xinmin Evening News, the teleworking has been one of the outcome of this pandemic response, but for many SMEs, this has been their technical difficulty. What will be the measures adopted by MIIT to help the SMEs to transform? DDG Qin Zhenghui will take the question. Thank you for your question. Digital transformation is intangible for many. However, in our daily life and work, it is ubiquitous. The so-called difficulty of technical transformation, as reputed as a bottleneck, might be related to the fact that many SMEs find it is beyond their affordability. As a competent authority in this regard, we have the 5 measures. First, we increase the number of good quality services to improve the services available. Second, we will summarize a batch of best practices of digital enabled SMEs and try to roll it out. And third, create a sound atmosphere so as to enhance the awareness and the capability of SMEs in digital utilization. And fourth, we'll develop a batch of e-commerce platforms to enable SMEs to reduce cost, expand market, and ensure stable job opportunities, thus helping the digital transformation of SMEs. Recently, we've noticed that JD.com and the Alibaba.com have adopted an array of measures to facilitate SMEs. Digital, online, and smart training have also been carried out to help SMEs to better understand the available digital technologies so as to enhance their digital literacy. We have also organized some online WeChat lessons, which has been provided to SMEs for free. There is a big component of digital technology-related training and lectures. Meanwhile, we also encourage local governments to have policy incentives. Businesses will have the compromise in some of their benefits, and the government will make some contributions as well. In the interest of time, we will take 2 last questions. Journalist from the 5th row on the left side, please. Thank you. With Dragon Television, MIIT has issued a policy circular to learn about the financing need by SMEs. I'd like to ask the local industry authorities specific measures. I'd like to ask DDG Qin Zhenghui to take the question. Thank you for your question. Difficulty and expensiveness in financing has been a #1 headache for SMEs. The Chinese government has adopted a couple of measures. From the perspective of MIIT, we have been focusing on the following aspects. First, learn about the needs. In face of the financing difficulty by SMEs, we have promoted relevant government departments to launch certain policies. We've also organized the surveying into the actual financing needs of the SMEs. Second, we've improved policy connection. We've guided local authorities to look at the financing difficulty of SMEs. We've leveraged the financing platform to connect banks and financial institutions with SMEs. In Shanxi province, they have set up such a connection mechanism. On one hand, they've learned about the financing needs of SMEs. On the other hand, they have put up the services provided by the local financial institutions on our website, so as to connect the financing demand with the financing supply. And the third, innovate the financial services. For example, Beijing municipality has established a first loan service center. I don't know whether you have already noticed the existence of such services. In other provinces, there are also the service centers for the renewal of loans. Fourth, capacity improvement. By promoting WeChat information, we have been disseminating the favorable policies. We have been popularizing the financial information among SMEs so as to improve their informed capacity building, because sometimes SMEs don't know where to go when they are faced with financing difficulties. We've also promoted the entrepreneurship of SMEs. We've adopted policy circular to help SMEs to get listed on the public market. Learning about the needs, improve the connection between demand and supply, and inform the capacity of SMEs. Besides, MIIT has also improved the capacity of the clearing and repaying of loans. We help SMEs to repay their loans by the end of 2020 and avoid from being involved into further due payment. Overdue payment, economic daily. Guest speakers have mentioned that impacted by COVID-19, some SMEs, in particular in the hospitality, catering, and foreign trade businesses, have been dented. Are there any measures adopted by All China Federation of Industry and Commerce to look into the specific difficulties of these businesses and then accordingly adopt measures to deal with their difficulties? Deputy Director Tu Wen to take the question. Thank you for your question. I also thank the moderator for providing me with the opportunity to take the last question. That points to one of the basic role of All China Federation of Industry and Commerce. We want to improve and optimize the policy design for SMEs. On the first day of the Lunar New Year, we've set up a 50-people work group and got involved in COVID-19 prevention control measures. We started the survey. Over the past few months, we've adopted a combination of measures to innovate our survey method, to learn about the operation of SMEs, to understand the mindset of the entrepreneurs. We conducted online survey from January to early April. Every 10 days, we, on our website, conducted an online survey. So altogether, we had 4 online surveys. Over 80,000 businesses have filled the forms of our online survey. We asked questions about the implementation of prevention and control measures, the resumption of business, the impact from overseas pandemic. We've got timely and truthful answers.
Secondly, we conducted an extensive, in-depth interview. Starting from the first day of the Lunar New Year, the whole federation was mobilized and maintained close contacts with more than 3,000 entrepreneurs and businessmen by taking interviews and phone call investigations. Thirdly, we have conducted some case studies and analysis, especially in the second part of March. Since then, when the international pandemic was spreading, we have closely monitored the export-oriented companies. And fourthly, we conducted specific studies by mobilizing our own resources as well as the expertise or resources. We conducted some dedicated studies. And recently, we have provided more than 300 articles to the decision makers and the policy makers. Based on the above-mentioned surveys and studies, we found that in the short term, we could hardly eliminate the negative impact caused by the pandemic on the business sectors, especially for the SMEs. However, we also find that during the pandemic, the new economy and the new modes of business are also growing rapidly. For example, the private sector or the private businesses in some sectors, like the service sector, have already found their own solutions, and they are very flexible. For the next step, our federation will focus on three things. First, we will monitor the developments and help the businesses address the problems. Second, we will work with the agencies to provide more assistance to the companies. And thirdly, we will help the companies to go through the difficulties. Okay, thank you. For tomorrow's press conference, the topic will be about the TCM in pandemic prevention and control. So we will have experts of TCM to take your questions. We welcome your participation and also your questions. That's all for today's press conference. Thank you.
谢谢。